Okay, beta. Wait a minute. So, beta, for the thermodynamics. Okay. Okay, beta. So, may I know that if I'm making this graph, okay, for the Boyle's law, will it be like this? Will it be like this? Will it be like this? Or will it be like this?
So the first one,
First one, no, it is not. So. It's incorrect. Okay. Okay. If I'm giving you this one is the correct option. Okay. Next, if I'm talking about this one,
so
yes, beta.
I had gone through the chapter, but I don't remember much.
So, beta, because thermodynamics and states of matters are bothly interconnected chapters. Okay.
Okay.
So, if we start this chapter, it will take 2 or 3 classes. So that's 3 or 4 classes. If we start this chapter properly, and then after we go through that chapter, then it will be much better for me to teach you everything properly in a proper manner. So should
Okay,
I
sir.
start? Should I start with this one? Because this is also in your syllabus, and you need to
Yes.
cover this one. Okay. So let's discuss. If you, please try to take the screenshots because in writing it will take much time. Okay, so it will be much better if you want to cover up this chapter fast in a fast mode. So you need to take the screenshot what I'm taking. Okay, so wait a minute. Okay, okay, beta. Let's start. So before I'm teaching you something, let's discuss some very important topic of this chapter. Okay, so this is the log. Okay, log. Some terms of log is if I'm writing here log A, okay, into log B. Yeah, if I'm writing here log A into B, what would be the value of this one?
Log A plus B.
Log A plus log B. Okay, okay. If I'm writing it like log A upon B, then what would be the value of this one?
Log A minus log B.
It would be log A minus log A minus log B. Okay, very good. Okay. If you know that the equations, the graph of the equation is that y is equals to, okay, mx plus c. Okay, this is the equation for the linear graph. Okay, linear graph. Okay, means linear equations, or you can say that is a straight line graph. Whenever we are having any equation in this form, y is equals to mx plus c, then we will going to have a straight line graph. Okay, and if c is the intercept for this one, then we will going to start whatever the value of y we are going to have right here, and whatever the value of x here we have to write here x, and if this c is going to have some value, like whatever the value of c is, from that point the graph is going to be started. For example, if c is going to have the value 3, so from here the graph is going to start like this way. Okay, and m is the slope of line. M is the slope of line, slope of line, and slope is being represented by slope is being represented by 10 theta. That is equals to 10 theta. Okay, so if I'm writing this one like this way, okay, and if I'm saying that this the value of m is positive, then the graph will be like this way. It is the positive slope. Okay, it is the positive slope. And if the value of m is negative, then it will be coming back. Okay, means it will be starting from here, whatever the slope of line will be, intercept of the line will be here. Okay, and it will be with the negative slope. Okay, got it. This is the line with negative slope. So is that clear, that what is positive slope, what is negative slope, what is intercept? Got it?
Sir,
Yes, beta.
so what exactly is log?
Log is a mathematical term actually, that like we have the 10 theta, cos theta, that is a mathematical term. In the similar way, log is also a mathematical term. Okay, that's help us do some mathematical calculations. Okay, like
Okay,
we have tan 45 is equals to 1. Okay, like we also have some values of log. Okay, and like we have a log base 10. Okay, uh, is equals to 1. So this is also the value, means log is also a mathematical term that has some values, and we need to calculate it accordingly. Okay. Okay. So let's move
okay.
further. Let's move further. So this is the now you understood that what is slope, what is the slope of the line. Slope means this is the positive slope, this is the negative slope. If this value means we are going to have some equation like y is equals to mx only and c is 0 here, then the graph of that line will start from origin. Okay, with positive slope. If m is positive, then we are going to have this one. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now moving further, we have to discuss some terms, because in the thermodynamics chapter, we are going to deal with the pressure. If it is constant pressure, then what would be the changes? If it is uh, uh, constant volume, then what would be the changes? If it is constant temperature, then what would be the changes? Adiabatic process. These are the so many processes that these two chapters are interconnected. If you ask me to teach organic chemistry, then I could have jumped to that chapter, because there is nothing relation between these two chapters. So we can jump to that chapter, but these two chapters are interconnected. So I need to teach you this one first. Okay. So let's move. So here we have pressure. Okay. Volume, temperature, and that is the number of moles. Okay. So if I'm talking about this one, that what do you mean by the word pressure? Pressure is simply it is the force, okay, perpendicular force per unit area that an object is a gas is exerting on the wall of the container. Okay, and it is always perpendicular to the surface of contact. It is always perpendicular to the surface of contact. So the perpendicular force, we can also say that it is thrust. Okay, so here if I'm writing here that if I'm writing that pressure, the what is pressure? Pressure is equals to force per unit area, force upon area. Okay, so it is a perpendicular force that act on an object. Okay, and we called it force. Okay, by an object, or mainly we are dealing with the gases and liquids, because we are just studying here this, states of matters, and in states of matter, we are just going to deal with the two states here, that is the gases and liquids, and solid state will be going to study in the next class, that is in 12th standard. Okay, so if I'm talking about this pressure, so pressure is equals to force upon area, and its unit would be Newton per meter square. Okay, so here are some units that we need to convert it, and we need to know about it, so that in our calculations we can do it properly. So okay, so this is the standard unit of, because we know that Newton is the standard unit of force, and area is the this meter square is the standard unit of area. So this is the SI unit. Newton meter square is an SI unit, which we called it pascals. Okay, so 1 pascals, okay, is equals to 1 Newton meter square. Okay, and that is approximately equals to if I'm talking about the atmospheric pressures. Okay, so what is this atmospheric pressure? Atmospheric pressure is that pressure that is exerted by the atmosphere on every surface of any object that we are going to have here. Okay, that is called the atmospheric pressure. This is the atmospheric pressure that we are having. our body, any liquid, any substance, any solid is going to face that pressure. That is called the atmospheric pressure. And the value of 1 atm atmospheric pressure, okay, 1 atm is equals to 1.05 into 10 raised to the power 5 pascals, or you can write it Newton meter square, Newton per meter square. Okay. And if I'm writing here that this one is going to have this value, in a similar way, atmospheric pressure is also going to have 760 mmHg. This is another unit that if we are going to have the pressure in mmHg, then we have to convert it accordingly. Okay. And here we can say that one atmospheric pressure is also equals to 760. That if you divide this one with 10, you will convert it into 76 centimeter Hg. Okay, got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And here we are going to have this one that is the value of V. Okay. So if I'm talking about the value of V, that is volume. Okay. So this is the units of generally these are the units of atmospheres. Okay. Now uh, talking about the volume. So what is the volume? What we generally consider it that if I'm talking about the volume of any container or any gas. So just if I'm asking that this is a container, okay, this is a container and it consists of 50 ml of gas, 50 ml of 50 gram of gas. 50 gram of gas is present in this one, and this container is of 5 liter. 5 liter. Then what would be the volume of the gas? Hmm? What would be the volume of the gas, beta? If I'm saying that 50 gram of N2 is present in this 5 liter of container, then what would be the volume of the gas? You have any idea?
0.1.
Actually, we know that the gases fill the container completely. Gases fill the container completely. Okay, beta. So if they can fill the container completely, we know that if we are having the 50 gram gas, then it is going to strike the upper portion also, the lower portion also, the here also, and the here also. We cannot say that the gas will settle down. नीचे ही बैठी रहेगी, ऐसा नहीं होगा. It will not be possible. So if I'm talking about this, that when whatever we are taking the gas, if we are taking 50 gram gas, if I'm taking here, let them 100 gram gas, whatever the mass of the gas is, at normal condition, if I'm not taking the normal conditions, it is just then in that case it is going to fill the container completely, and whatever the volume of the container is, that will be the volume of the gas. So if I'm taking that gases fill the container completely, so the volume of container will be equivalent to volume of the gas. Okay, got it?
Yes.
So if I'm talking about this one, that we know that the volume we normally measures in liters. So we can say that 1 liter is equals to 1000 ml. And generally we know that 1 liter is equals to 1000 ml, and 1 ml is equals to 1 centimeter cube. So if I'm talking that, I can write it 1 liter is equals to 1000 centimeter cube. Got it?
Yes.
And that is also called this centimeter is also called cc, cubic centimeter. Okay, this is cubic centimeter. So in short, we write it cc. So if it is being written cc, don't get confused at what is being written here cc. So cc means centimeter cube, or you can say that it is also equivalent to 1 ml. Okay, got it?
Yes.
Now
Yes.
the moving to the next term, that is we have discussed the pressure, we have discussed the volume, and next is the number of moles. Okay, the number of moles. You will be very much familiar with this term, and that is given mass, given mass, okay, upon molecular mass, upon gram molecular mass. Okay, and both should be in the grams. So that's it. That is the number of moles, and you are very much familiar. You have studied this one in the first chapter. Okay. Now talking about this, what we are going to discuss here in the number of moles according to the gases. So if we take four containers, okay. If I'm talking taking these four containers, and suppose these four containers, okay. Suppose these four containers, okay, are kept here. Okay. Wait. Okay. So if I've taken this one, this one, this one. Okay. So if I've taken this these four containers, okay, let's suppose, and and the volume of each container is just, if I'm talking that the irrespective of their volumes, if if they are maintained at same, okay, okay. So these are of if I take it, I have given this one hydrogen gas. Okay, in this one is N2 gas, in this one is CH4 methane gas, and this one is, let's suppose, butane gas, C4H10. Okay, butane gas. And if I take one mole of each, one mole of each, let's suppose if I'm going to take 1 mole of hydrogen is going to have the 2 gram mass, 1 mole of nitrogen N2 is going to have 28 gram mass, 1 mole of CH4, C means 12 and H4 means 4. Okay, so togetherly we will going to add these two, and we will going to have the 16 here. So this will be 16 grams, and likewise if we are having this one C4H10, then in that case that will be 12 into 4 plus 1 into 10. So you'll get 12 fours are 10, you will get 58. So here you will get the 58 gram. Okay, if I've taken this 2 grams instead of 1, this is 2 gram, because hydrogen is going to have the 2 grams H2. Okay, so if I'm having 2 grams of hydrogens, 28 grams of nitrogen, 16 grams of methane, and uh, 58 grams of butane. Okay, these are the four gases. Then you can take many other gases like carbon dioxide, 44 grams of carbon dioxide. Okay, 41 mole of carbon dioxide is going to have the 44 grams of carbon dioxide, and you kept them all at the same temperature and pressure, that is NTP at NTP, okay, normal temperature or pressure, or we can say it is standard temperature or pressure. And at standard temperature or pressure, बताइए, what would be the temperature that we take? What is the temperature we generally take at STP? Standard temperature and pressure. What is the standard temperature? You
You
have
said
had,
3000?
yes, it is 273.15 Kelvin, and that is also equals to 0 degree Celsius. 0 degree, 0 degree Celsius. Okay. So, and the temperature and the pressure here we are taking is 1 atm. 1 atm pressure we have taken. Okay. The standard temperature is 1 atm pressure, atmospheric pressure. Then all of them will be going to occupy the same volume. Means they will be going to occupy the same volume, and that would be 22.4 liter. This is also going to have occupied 22.4 liter, 22.4 liter, 4 liter. They all will occupy the same volume, 22.4 liter. Okay, 22.4 liter. So if the container is less than 24.41, okay, then it will be going, it will be we can simply say that then it will be going to have occur more pressure on the container. Okay, so if you maintain them all, the temperature and atmospheric pressure is maintained at STP, then they will be, they all the gases will going to occupy the same volume, and that volume is called 22.4 liter. That measurement value is called 22.4 liter. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. So this, what does this statement mean? So if I'm saying that at STP or NTP, normal temperature and pressure, okay, standard temperature or pressure. If we have taken these two, means we have fixed this, the temperature is 273 Kelvin and the pressure is 1 atm and the temperature is 273 Kelvin. Then in that case, uh, one mole, one mole of each gas will occupy, will occupy, occupy the same volume, and that is 22.4 liter, or we can write it 22400 ml. Okay. So if I am saying that at STP 2 gram of hydrogen, at STP 2 grams of hydrogen occupy 22.4 liter, then 1 gram of hydrogen will occupy how much volume?
11.2 liter.
Yes, it will be 11.2 liters. So we can simply say that the number of moles is equals to given volume of gas, given volume of gas in liters upon 22.4. And now this number of moles, you can also write it in place. If you don't want to write it, if it is not given to you, then you can write it given mass of gas upon molecular mass. Got it? Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Now we have discussed this number of moles also. Now moving to the next term is the temperature. Temperature. Temperature, you are very much familiar that temperature is the T, the last unit that we're going to discuss, and we know that 273.15 Kelvin is equals to 0 degree Celsius, and Kelvin is the standard unit of temperature. Okay, got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if we have some, like we have 25 degrees Celsius temperature, then it will be converted. We add it to 73.15 plus 25, you will get 298.15 Kelvin. Okay, so we simply can add or subtract it accordingly. Okay, so this is all about this one. Now let's move to the next one, that is the Boyle's law. We are just going to study directly Boyle's law. Okay, the gas laws. Mm, is okay. The first law is actually the Boyle's law. Boyle's law. Okay. So what does Boyle's law say? Okay. What is statement according to the Boyle's law said that these scientists, Boyle's, Charles, okay, they were studying thoroughly the nature of the gases, their compression, their expansions. Okay. So they noticed that if we have this one, like we have P, V, N, and E. Okay. If we fix these two, okay, N the number of moles and T is the temperature. So if we consider that there is no leakaging is taking place in the gas, मतलब कोई भी container में leakaging नहीं हो रही है, and we are considering this one that that the number of moles means the mass of the gas is fixed. Okay, number of moles is fixed means it means the mass of the gas is fixed, because we can simply say that that if the number of moles are fixed, then the mass must be fixed. If the mass is variable, then the number of moles will be variable. So if we fix these two, then he said that at constant temperature for a fixed for a fixed mass of a gas, for a fixed mass of a gas taken in a container, pressure pressure would be directly proportional to temperature or inversely proportional to temperature?
Inversely.
Inversely proportional. Sure.
So could you repeat that?
I'm saying that if we have fixed the temperature, okay, the temperature is not increasing, okay, would it be directly proportional? Means the pressure would be directly proportional to the volume, or will it be inversely proportional to the volume?
Inversely.
Inversely proportional. We know that if we apply the pressure here, okay, and this is the piston, let's suppose, and if we are applying the pressure, so more the pressure, lesser will be the volume. So we know that this one. So we can simply say that if the temperature, if we kept the constant temperature, okay, and there is no leakaging taking place, then pressure is inversely proportional to the volume of gas. Volume of gas. Okay, that is the Boyle's law. So we can write it P is inversely proportional to volume. So we can write it P is equals to, if we take some K as a constant, okay, then it will be 1 upon K. K bracket, K is equals to 1 upon V. Got it?
Sir,
Yes, beta.
so we're considering the pressure exerted by the gas on the container, or we are exerting the pressure?
We are exerting the pressure. We are exerting the pressure. Means
Okay.
the more the pressure you are exerting, the lesser will be the volume. Okay.
Yes.
Because how can we if I'm considering that if we have taken this gas in a container, okay, so the pressure of the gas is constant. How can we increase the pressure by the gas by changing the volume of the gas? I mean, sorry, by changing the number of moles. If the volume is fixed and we keep on increasing the gas in this container, then in that case we are adding more gas to the same. Then in that case the pressure will increase and the volume will also increase. Okay,
Yes.
but here we have fixed that we are not adding the gas and nor we are decreasing the gas, because at fixed mass of a gas taken in the container, we are not adding, neither we are adding nor we are decreasing the gas. So in that case we are adding the pressure. Okay, the more the pressure you apply, lesser will be the volume of the gas. Got it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, now comparing this equation, if you are drawing a graph with this one, okay, this let I'm drawing this one. This is the PT graph, and now I'm just making this one. This one is, will it be like this? This one is first option. This one is second option. If I'm taking P and V here, and if I'm taking here P and V, will it be like this? If I'm taking this one, will it be like this? The fourth one, P and V. And if I'm trying this one, uh, will it be like something like this? Let take the four options only. Okay, with the third one, okay, and this one is the fourth. This is the B and this one is P. So which graph do you think is the correct graph for the PV relationship?
First one?
The first one is the correct one. Okay, so this one is the correct one. Okay, why it is correct?
Because when we are taking less value for volume, the pressure is increasing. And when we are
Yeah,
taking
yeah, very good, Beta. So we know that since we are decreasing this pressure here like this way, okay, we are decreasing the pressure. Since we are, so if we are increasing the pressure, okay, with more the pressure volume and the lesser will be the volume here. And simply, we can simply say that according to this one, we are just saying that P is equals to, P is inversely proportional to V. So inversely proportional graph is like this. Always we need to keep this one like this. If we have something like inversely proportional, so in that case we are going to have the curve. So if we consider the more pressure here, then lesser will be the volume. If we are decreasing the pressure, like we are decreasing the pressure, the volume is going to be increased. Okay, so this one is the correct graph. Very good. So now now considering this one, if I'm just taking this one, okay, this one is the right temperature T1, This one is a T2. Okay, so this is PV, and this way we are just considering this one as temperature T1, this one is T2, and this one is T3. So if I'm saying that arrange this in the decreasing order, so the highest temperature would be T1 or T2 or T3?
T3.
T3. So we can write it T3 is greater than T2 is greater than T1, greater than T1. Okay. Now talking about this one, let's move further. If we are considering this one, that if we take this one, P is equals to K by 1V, and if we start doing this one, okay. So here, if we need to plot the graph, like we are just plotting this graph, P is equals to 1 by V. So P is equals to 1 by V. So would it be a straight line from this one? Would be a straight line from this one? One. Would it be the curve line like this way? Okay. What you would consider this one? This is the first one. This one is the second one, and this one is the third one. Which graph will you think that it is the correct graph for this representation? P.
The second one?
The second one is the correct graph. Very good. Second one will be the correct. Why we are considering this one? So we can consider this one because we know that we can compare this equation by y is equals to m into x. Okay, y is equals to m into x. So you know that here c, the value of c is 0, and this y, whatever the value of y, we have just plotted this one on the y-axis, that is p, and what is the value of x, we have plotted this one at x-axis. Okay, and then here c is 0. C is 0 means the graph is going to start from it is with 0 intercept, means it is going to start from origin, and we can consider this m. M is, there is no negative value now, no negative k is being written here, so we can consider this one as positive slope. So we can say that this graph is going to be like this one with positive slope. Okay. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So if I'm taking this one, this is the temperature T1, this is the temperature T. Okay, this is T1, this is T2, and this is T3. Now, if you have, I ask you that arrange them in decreasing order of their temperature to which will be the highest temperature.
T3,
T3, then
T2, and then T1.
okay, T3, then T2. Very good. Now moving furthermore. Now if we consider, if I'm taking this one P.
Sir?
Yes. Do you want to say something?
Sir, but can you explain how T1 is the highest one?
Okay. I think that you know that one. Okay, why not? So if I make constant one of this, okay, that if I'm constanting, if I constant this volume 1 by V, if I constant 1 by V, it is not changing. If we consider this one as constant, okay, 1 by V have considered, this one is constant. Okay, now for the constant volume, if we increase the temperature, the value of P will be increased. For a fixed volume, okay, for a fixed volume, the value of 1 by V and V will be same. Okay, if it not changing. So if we consider, if we fix the volume, then in that case, fixing a volume means the volume is not changing. Just consider this piston, this container having a fixed piston, and this piston is not movable, means you cannot increase this, it cannot comes down or it cannot moves up. It is fixed here. We have weld this one, okay, it cannot move up and down. So if there is some amount of gas is present here, okay, so on increasing the temperature, will this gas exert more pressure or less?
More pressure.
More pressure. So we will say that here the value of P1 is 1, then here in this case you will consider this is P2 and this one is P3. So at temperature T3, we are considering for a fixed volume of a gas, at temperature T3 we are going to have the highest pressure, so we can consider that T3 is greater than T2 is greater than T1. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Moving to the next, if we take this equation in the form of graph, like we have P is equals to 1 by, okay, P is equals to V by, okay, and multiplying both sides but with log, okay. So here we consider that log P is equals to, here you see that log K into 1 by V, okay. So you know that this one is A and this one is B, or you can write it like this way, that is it can also be written as log K by B. Now this one is A and this one is B. Okay, so writing this one, what you can write here? You can write here log K minus log V. Okay, that I have
Yes.
teach initially, that I have given this examples.
Yes.
Okay, so if I consider this V, if I plot this graph with this one, okay, with this one, and if you are considering this one as Y, and Y is actually log P, log P, and here we are considering this one as log V, log V. Okay, and here this one is log K. So if we are considering this one as, sorry, so this one is log K. Okay, so if I'm writing here log P as Y is equals to log K minus log V. Okay, and this one is M X. Okay, and this one is C. Okay, so if I consider this one as minus one here. Okay, X is this one, X is this one. Okay, okay, so if we see that here that this M is negative, M is negative, the value of M is negative. Okay, so will you think that what kind of graph we are going to have from this one?
Its slope will be going down.
Slope coming down. Okay, it will be the negative slope. Very good. And it will have some intercept because it is the intercept here. Okay, so it will be coming down from this way. Okay, like this way. And here we consider this one, that this one is log K, log K, and this one is going to have the negative slope, the negative slope. Okay, so if I consider this one, if I'm just making a parallel line from this one, so what would be the angle theta here?
Obtuse.
Yeah, it is obtuse. But theta, will it be means the value of theta? So here you see that the value of M is in the slope, the value of slope is equals to minus M here. Slope is equals to M here, and that is equals to minus 1 here. Okay, that is equals to minus 1 here, because we consider this one M as minus 1. X is our log B only. So if we consider this one, so we know that the slope of line is equals to tan theta, tan theta. So we know that tan theta is equals to minus 1. So if tan theta is equals to minus 1, then we can write here tan theta is equals to the value of minus 1 is 10 for 10 135. Okay, the minus 1. We know that 1045 is equals to positive 1, but 10 135 has the value of minus 1. Okay, then this will be cancelled out, and we can consider this one as theta is equals to 135 degree. Okay, so whenever we are just going to draw the slope of this line, so it must not like this, like this way. It must not, or you cannot say that it will be like this way. Okay, because we need to measure angle like this way. If we measure the angle with the slope and the line parallel to the x-axis, then it will be going to have exactly 135 degree angle at every point. Got it? So
Yes.
the value of this one should be 135 degree. Okay, so you understood this one, the Boyle's law?
Yes.
Okay, so this is also about Boyle's law. So if we consider this Boyle's law, so we can say that P uh, P is equals to K upon V. And if I'm writing here P is equals to K, then P we bring this V to this side, so we can write here that P V is equals to K. Okay, here this way PV is equals to K, and that is constant. This is constant. And if we draw this graph here, okay, of P and V, PV versus the whatever the value we take here, we can take the volume here, or we can take the pressure here. Okay, so what kind of graph will you expect? Will it be like this, or will it be like this, or will it be like this? One,
It will be the
2, 3.
first one, straight
Yes,
line.
yes, it will be the first one parallel to the uh, x-axis. Okay, so Why? Because it is a constant. Because at every point we are changing the, if we change the pressure, the volume will because to fix that value, the pressure will change accordingly. Okay, the pressure will change accordingly. So this value is going to be changed. Means this value will remain fixed. Will remain fixed for a particular temperature. We are just considering the condition that the gas is not leakaging, neither the gas is leakaging, nor we are adding the gas, and similarly we are not, neither we are increasing the temperature nor we are decreasing the temperature. So at constant temperature and constant volume of, sorry, constant mass of a gas, if we change the pressure, let's suppose the product of this two is 20, and if we are considering the pressure is 5 bar, okay, whatever it is, sorry, 5 pascals, okay, and if we consider that this one is 4, the value of this one 4. So if we increase this one, if we, let's suppose if I increase this pressure, sorry, if I increase the volume, let's say it, I make it 10, then it will become all, it will automatically become 2. Okay, it will, to make it, to make this value constant. Okay, so if we increase this one, let's suppose if I'm increasing the pressure 20, then the volume will become 1 to make it constant. So the product of PV for fixed temperature and for a fixed mass of a gas will remain constant. So we will say that P1 PV is constant for this one. Okay, and whether we take here pressure or we take here temperature, sorry, pressure, volume or pressure, whatever we are going to have here, anyone, कुछ भी आप यहाँ पे ले सकते हैं. So let's suppose this we have fixed here and we get this value here, whatever, let's suppose this is 20 here. Okay, at temperature T1. Now we change the temperature to T2 and we observe this graph, the change in the graph, and this is like this way. And let's suppose this is 30 here. Okay, the product of P is 30. And if we consider this one is T3 and we are going here, this is 40 here. So what will you consider, that T1 is greater than T2 is greater than T3?
T3 is greatest, right?
Yes, T3 is greater than T2 is greater than T2 is greater than T1. So could you explain me that why this is happening?
Because as we increase the temperature, the pressure exerted by the gas will increase and its volume will also increase.
Yeah, we can say that if we are considering anyone here, if we suppose if we fix a pressure or volume, let's suppose we are considering, we are taking this on the x-axis, we are taking the pressure only. This time we are taking the pressure only. Okay, so if we are taking the pressure here, so at fixed pressure, so we know that if we have taken the fixed pressure, okay, fixed pressure means the pressure should not increase. Okay, pressure should not increase. So if we start heating this, if we increase the temperature, of this container, and the pressure should remain constant. So in order to make the pressure constant, this piston should move up, otherwise the pressure will start moving. So in that case, if we heat up this, if we increase the temperature, the gas will start exerting the more pressure, and in order to keep the same pressure, we cannot escape the gas from this container. So what is the how can we maintain the pressure? So the temperature should increase and the temperature should, pressure should remain constant. We need to move this piston up. In order to make, so the expansion of the gas is taking place and the pressure will remain constant. So we need to increase the volume. So when we increase the pressure, so we are increasing the temperature, the pressure of the gas will increase. So in order to keep that pressure constant, we need to increase the volume of the gas. So at constant pressure for a fixed mass of a gas, that on increasing the temperature, the volume of the gas will increase. And if the volume of the gas will increase, so we know that if this is constant and if volume is increasing, so the whole overall PV value will increase. So if we kept this pressure constant, let's suppose this is 20, and if we are increasing that and the initial at T1 the temperature is the volume of the gas is, let's suppose 2 liter, then it is product is 40. Now this is 20 is fixed, and if we increase the more temperature, then in that case the volume will increase. Let's suppose it become 4, then it will be 80. Okay, so that will be at T2. So on increasing the temperature, the pressure is increasing, and in order to keep the pressure constant, we need to increase the volume. So volume is indirectly increasing. On increasing the temperature, the volume should increase, and if the volume is increased, then in that case the value of PV will overall increase, and the value of PV is increased. So we will see, consider that higher the temperature, more will be the value of PV. And if it is more, then we will say that T3 is greater than T2 is greater than T1. Got it?
Yes.
So moving further, we can simply say that TV is equals to K is equals to constant. So we can consider that for a fixed volume of a gas, if we change either the pressure and volume, so we can say that P1 V1 is equals to P2 V2. Got it? P1 V1 is equals to P2 V2. Got it?
Sir,
Yes.
over here also you're considering the pressure exerted by the gas, right?
Yeah. This one is the pressure exerted by the gas on the wall of the container, and here V1 is the volume of the gas, and P2 is the pressure at the second time. If we change that, P2 is the pressure of the gas that is exerted by the gas in the wall of the container, and V2 is the volume of the gas. Okay, got
Yes. Yes.
it? Oh, okay. So let's do a single numerical, and then we shall be going to move forward. Okay. So a gas,
Sir,
yes.
we had discussed log previously before this, right?
Yeah.
So I don't understand what that have to do with Boyle's law.
That's in the graphs that we were discussing, that if we have not discussed these values that we initially we start, so I think you will not be able to consider this one. Okay,
Means?
actually we have this log, the value of log. Okay, log V का graph अलग से बनता है, log P का graph अलग से होता है. तो that we need to deal with this one. Okay, so if it is being written that you have the gas, like you have the volume, certain times we need to take the anti-logs in order to solve the values. Okay, so in that case, if we have the graph of log V and log P, if it is given in your examinations, in the objective question papers, log P and log V, then you need to consider this graph also.
Okay.
So if you need the concept, and the concept is clear that log P and log V. So you have not studied log previously.
No, sir.
Okay, you have not studied this one. So in the chemical equilibrium chapter, we will going to study this one very thoroughly. Then in that case, you will going to study this one. So log is very important mathematical term that allows various things to write us. For example, if we have written this log 10 raised to the power 5, so we can write it 5 log 10, and we know that the value of log 10 is actually 1, so we can write it 5 into 1. So the value of log 10 raised to the power 5 is only 5. Okay. Okay, so there are so many that this is the mathematical term that we need to discuss, and this plays a very important role in calculations of pH. You know that the value of pH, we have now that pH is equals to minus log of hydrogen ion concentrations. Okay, so minus log of hydrogen ion concentration. So in that case, if it is being given to you that the value of pH is 7, then what will the value of hydrogen ion concentration? Okay. So in that case, you need to solve it according to the laws of log. So if you have this value, then minus log, then you have to calculate the value of hydrogen ion concentration. Then you have to take the anti-log. And for this one, you need to study this one. Okay. Why I teach you this one? Because many times in NEET and JEE, this type of question is being asked in the examinations. The graph of log P and log V, and this theta, the angle related to theta. So in that case, we are going to have minus here the value of intercept is fixed. Oh, sorry, value of m is fixed. The slope, that is -1, and in that, if we have the -1 as a value, and in that case the value will be minus 135 degree, and theta is going to have 135 degree here. Okay, so many times it will be asked that what will be the value of theta. Okay, so we consider this one a little bit. A teacher need to teach everything to his students so that she or he should not miss any point. Okay, I should go through that one, start teaching you the thermodynamics chapter, but this things that we need to teach you. Okay. Okay, so if you think that you are okay with these graphs and you can be able to do this one, then tomorrow we can start with the thermodynamics. No need to take it so. Okay, so let's have a simple question here. A gas contain a gas occupy 200 ml. I'm writing only the biography of the question. A gas occupy 200 ml at a pressure of, here it is given to you, this is the volume V1, at a pressure of, here P1 is 0.820 bar. Okay, at 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, how much volume will it occupy when the external pressure is, P2 is being given to you, that is 1.025 bar. Okay, and the temperature is 20 degrees Celsius, and it is being asked, V2 is being asked. Tell me, what would be the value of V2? This is a simple question.
Yes, we know that P1 into V1 is equal to P2 into V2.
Yeah.
So from that we can find the value of V2.
So what would be the value?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I'm very slow at calculations.
Okay. So no problem, beta. Okay, so let's move. So will you be able to solve this one means properly? So that would be simple. That you need to divide it. P1 V1 is equals to P2 V2, and then you will be able to calculate this one. Okay. So
Yes.
here, if you calculate this one, you will be writing here P1 V1 is equals to P2 V2. And in that case, you need to calculate the volume V2. Then you can write P1 V1 divided by P2 is equals to V2. Then P1 is 0.820 into, here we have this volume is 200 ml. 200 ml upon 1.025. So when you calculate this one, you will get the V2 as 160. Okay, 160 ml. So moving furthermore, should we jump to the Charles law?
Yes.
Okay, the next law. Are you going to have your school today?
No, I'm having my winter break right now.
Oh, you are having a winter break. So currently you are in Oman, na?
Yes.
And your parents belongs to India.
My parents also here. Yes.
Okay. So let's move further. Charles law. Charles law is similar. Okay. Charles law is similar to the means this one. We all are going to study this one now. We simply, the Boyle's law we have studied. Now we are just going to do this one in a fast manner. Okay. So this is actually V and T relationship. V and T relationship. So again, we have these four terms. Which one? P, V, N, and T. So if we keep this two constant, okay, V and T relationship. So we'll see that. So if we take this V and T, then we can consider this P and N. So at constant pressure and fixed mass of a gas, the volume will be basically considering the constant pressure. The volume of a gas will increase or decrease as a temperature.
Increase.
Yes. So we can say it is directly proportional. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we can say that according to this. So I'm not writing this one, you know that because we have studied this chapter. So I'm writing then according to this law, V is directly proportional to temperature. So we can write here Okay, V is equals to KT. Got it?
Yes.
So if I am drawing the graph of this one, okay, V and T, how will it be?
Straight line inclined to x-axis.
Yes, because we can consider this one is equals to Y is equals to MX, and this way I draw this one on, and this one is M is going to have the value of K, and there is no intercept, so this one will be the straight line from this one. Okay,
Yes.
so if we consider this one, this is pressure P1, this is pressure P2, and this is pressure P3. Which do you think is uh, highest pressure?
P1 is the highest.
P1 is the highest. How
Then
can you
P,
say that?
because if we take a fixed temperature, then the volume will be more. And we know that when,
No. If it fix the temperature of a gas, then at higher pressure, the volume will be less.
yes, yes.
Okay. So we'll consider that P3 is greater than P2 is greater than P1.
Yes.
Okay. So if we fix the temperature and temperature is not increasing, and in that case, we'll see that at higher pressure, okay, at higher pressure, we'll simply that the volume will be the less of the container. Okay, so we have done this one. Okay, now moving to the next, if we multiply this equation with log, okay, both sides, then log b is equals to, then it will be log k plus log t. Got it? समझ आया कैसे होगा?
Yes.
Log b, then log a into log b, then you can write it log k plus log t. So what could be the graph of this equation? If we am drawing this one like this way, log v here and log t here, then
It'll be a positive slope.
yes, it will be the positive slope with some intercept because here is the value of c is here. Okay, and it will be the positive slope with some intercept. Okay, got it?
Okay. Yeah.
And what would be the angle between this one and this one? What will be the value of theta?
45.
Yes, it will be 45. Very good. You are intelligent. Mashallah. So we have to write here y is equals to m, and you have to write here c, and then you have to write here m into x. Okay. So in that condition, you can write it. Okay.
Yes.
So why? Because m is going to have the positive 1 value here, and this is a positive slope, and positive 1 means tan theta is equals to 1, then it will be theta is equals to 45 degree. It is equals to 45 degree. Okay, very good. So let's move further. This
Yes.
one we have drawn these two graphs. Okay. Now this one is positive slope, positive slope. Now moving further. Okay. Now next graph is, if we draw this graph, we have this P. Okay. So we have this one. So now next graph is, we know that V is directly proportional to T. So V is equals to KT. Okay. And if we say that, if we are considering this one K and this one is V by T, and if we draw this graph like this way, V by T, okay, and here is either temperature or volume. So will it be the graph like this way?
Yes, it'll be constant.
Constant. So for example, if we consider this one as pressure P1, if it pressure P2, and this one is pressure P3, then what you will say that at constant means what will be the value of which will be the highest pressure?
P3. No, P1.
P1. Sure.
Yes.
Yes, sure. Huh? So this one is actually, if when we consider anyone, let consider the temperature as constant. Okay. Okay. Temperature as constant. So because if we take this lower term as constant, that will be much better. So we can simply say that on increasing this one. Okay. So we know that if we consider the temperature as constant, okay, then if the temperature is constant, then on increasing the pressure, we're going to have the lesser volume. So if this is constant, this is constant. So more the pressure, lesser will be the volume. So we can write it this one, this one. So here we can say that P1 is greater than P2 is greater than P3. Okay.
Yes.
Now we can write from combining this equation because this is constant here. So we can write here that P1, V1 upon T1 is equals to V2 upon T2. Got it?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Now, when Boyles was studying this laws, okay. So when he was studying these laws, actually, he find this on a hot air balloon. They both were doing this. Boyles and Charles were and Avogadro's were doing the researches, and doing his research, they find that when we increase every 1 degree temperature, okay, 1 degree temperature, then there is a rise in the volume of the gas. Okay, for every 1 degree rise in temperature, there is an increase in the volume of the gas, and that volume is 1 by 1 upon 70, 1 upon 273. So what he said that for every, and if we consider that this is a temperature T1 at so if we need to calculate the volume at temperature T, okay, and V naught is the initial volume of the gas, okay. So he find that, so on increasing the temperature, he find that V1 plus V naught upon into this is 273, okay, and this is the rise in temperature. This is the rise in temperature. Here's T is a rise in temperature, okay, rise or fall in temperature, fall in temperature. Okay, got it? Got it, beta? So
Sir, why have you
yes,
taken 273 in the denominator?
because this was an experimental value. This was an experimental value. Okay, when he was doing the experiment, he find that for a fixed volume of a gas, if we take the fixed volume of a gas, and if we increase its 1 degree temperature, 1 degree rise in temperature, okay, so every 1 degree rise in temperature, the 1 upon 273 times the volume of the original gas increases.
Yes.
Then for 2 degree, it will be 2 into 273 times increases. For 5 degree, it will be 5 into this one will increases. Okay, so so if we consider that, at 0 degree Kelvin, at 0 Kelvin, 0 Kelvin means we are considering that we have taken the gas to the 0 Kelvin temperature. Then what would be the volume of the gas? So from, we are just measuring this this parameter. We have just considered that we are starting it from 0 degree Celsius, 0 degree Celsius or 273 Kelvin. आपने गैस को 0 डिग्री सेल्सियस पर रखा हुआ है, उसका जो भी वॉल्यूम है at that temperature, okay, we have just kept the gas at 0 degree Celsius or 273 Kelvin, okay. Now at 273 Kelvin, we are, if we consider that it is the volume of the gas, it is the volume of the gas, and we are considering this one as V naught, okay, at 0 degree Celsius or 273 Kelvin, we are just considering this gas as V naught. So if its temperature increases, let's suppose its temperature reaches to 274, yani 1 degree temperature is being raised, then from this we can calculate that the volume at temperature 274 degree or 274 degree will be V naught, whatever the volume of this temperature would be, plus V naught into what is the temperature here. We need to add this too, okay, and we need to add these, okay. So here we will there is a 1 degree rise upon 273. So this is the initial volume, and this is the 1 upon 273 times will increases. So whatever the value of this volume will comes, we need to add these two, and we will get the total volume of the gas. If it is 2 degree rise, then we have to write here 2 degree. If it is 3 degree rise, then we have to write here 3 degree, okay. And if we say that it is 273 degree fall, 273 degree fall, then we will simply say that in case of fall, we have to write it minus. For example, if we take the gas to 27, instead of 273, we take it 270. Okay, then in that case, we have decreased the temperature to 3 degree. Okay, minus 3 degree. So we have to write here minus of 3. Okay, minus
Yes.
of 3. So if you bring from this 273 to 0 degree, then what would be the volume of the gas at 0 Kelvin? Suppose V naught. So we can come. Yes, it will be 0 degree. 0. The volume of the gas will become 0 because we can write here V plus, and you can write here V naught into, you have to write here minus 273 upon 273, because we have to bring this one a changes of minus 273. When you consider this one at minus, then this will become V naught is equals to this will be the volume, and when you consider this one V naught, sorry, V at temperature, we have to write here. Oh, I have written here 0 Kelvin. I'm so surprised that I have written here. So we have temperature T, that whatever the temperature is, that is 0 Kelvin. That will be 0 minus, then you get 0, 0. So we consider that the volume of the gas at 0 Kelvin will become 0. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So we have to write this statement that at constant pressure of a given mass of a gas increase or decrease in there is increase or decrease in its volume with if we increase the temperature at constant pressure, if we increase the volume, okay, so will the temperature on increasing the temperature, will the temperature rise or fall? If the pressure is constant, then in that case, if the volume of the gas increases, then you know that the temperature will also increase. So if we are writing here increase, so we have to write here with rise or fall. Okay, because as we increase the temperature, the volume of the gas has also increased. Okay.
Yes.
So at constant pressure of a given mass of a gas, there is an increase or decrease in its volume with the rise or fall in temperature by 1 upon 273, okay, of its volume at 0 degrees Celsius or 273 Kelvin. Got it?
Yes.
1 degree rise करता है. Okay. Got it?
So V naught is always taken as the volume at 273 Kelvin.
Huh? V naught is always taken as 273 Kelvin or degrees. Okay.
Yes.
So we can consider this one. So moving further, let's discuss the next laws, that is the but I think it's 11:47. So should we keep this up to here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, beta.
So for 1 degree rise or fall, this refers to Kelvin or Celsius?
The rise and fall is same in Kelvin and because there is a addition difference. Na? So if we increase 1 degree, either in Kelvin or in Celsius, this is the same. But you have to consider this one in Kelvin. So, okay, so if we say that at 0 degrees Celsius, a gas is kept, it means that we have kept this one at 273 degrees Celsius. So if we come to minus 15, so actually, if we subtract the temperature to minus 15 in Celsius, then it will be 273 minus 15 in Kelvin. 273 minus 15 in Kelvin. Okay, so difference is same. Either we increase in Kelvin or decrease in Kelvin. अगर मैंने केल्विन में 5 डिग्री को इंक्रीज, इफ आई हैव इंक्रीज द टेम्परेचर 5 डिग्री इन केल्विन, देन इट इज द सेम, will also increase 5 degree in Celsius also. Okay, so if we are increasing from 0 to 5, 0 to 5, so if I increase the 5 degree, so it is also, it means 273, and then it will just to 278. Okay, the difference is same.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that's all for today. Nice to meet you. Okay, we'll meet in the next class. Okay.